Boom. Morning, folks. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, everyone. We're here. We're here, and you're here. Maybe. I don't know if you're here, really. Probably you are. If you're here, you're probably here. You know what I mean? No. If you're here, you're certainly here. There's no likelihood thing. It's just like, you are here. There's no reason to doubt it. Beauf, I'm sleepy, folks. Beauf. Would this world be run on capitalism if we weren't exhausted from things all the time? Because sleep is a loss of activity. And we can't tolerate that. Alright, we're gonna chill today. I'm just curious I don't know why I've gotten curious about it recently. No one is online. Not even your cyber doctor. Get the fucking way. It's like 6:04 already. Get streaming, bro. Start streaming. I wonder, like, there's so many streamers that are streaming lately, but I never see them online. When is Cyborg last stream? Is she on vacation? 2,000 followers. Damn. 8 days ago, and her next one will be July 31st. She streamed 4 hours. Women Red Dress presents 12 days ago. So I think most people like, oh, it's a guy. It's probably referring to the what's it called? This is probably referring to the Matrix, right? Just checking out, folks. Other low-level TV. Oh, I know this guy. I know from YouTube. Someone sent it to me. Team Who Am I? It's offline. Yeah, no information about the next stream. I think most people don't stream that often. 8 days ago. And the recent broadcast was only... It only streams like 1 to 2 hours. Temu Doorlock. Nice. Wow, bro is like low level, huh? What are we, like a high level cyber? Can we do that? Low level TV. And Flora the Explorer cyber. There's plenty of ladies in Twitch. I don't know. I don't know if we can say plenty. There's some. 22 days ago. Yeah, there's not too many streamers in cyber in general. Like, no one's really that frequent. The Cyber Mentor, this was the first person I got to know on Twitch. Cyber Mentor, 46,000 people follow him. This video is only available to subscribers. Damn, bro. Bro's trying to make cash. If I want to watch that, I have to subscribe. Oh my god. Bro needs cash. And only streams 12 hours ago. Oh yeah, so this did stream 12 hours ago. That was recent. Nice. So like once a week or so. People stream like once a week. Roman streams a bit. I think Romans is new a bit, no? Still? 420, no. Pretty damn popular. Oh! So BlazeBits is online. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 so BlazeBits is online. Caramba. Maybe I should recommend Blaze Blitz too on my Twitch channel while I'm away. I like Blaze Blitz. Cool. So Blaze Blitz is online. That's cool. Yeah, so there are some streamers. No need to get like all upset and all. Let's go take our notes. Notes. What are we gonna do? Notes online. Online notepad. Boom. All right, folks. Hola, folks. All right, let's make it big. Whatcha? Nice. And it's dark now. Makes us look more hackery. All right. Hola, folks. Here are some of the questions we'll answer on stream today. All right. We have 4 of them. Ooh. I like it. I like this bullet point. All right, what other questions we have about cybersecurity? These are all the questions we said we were going to answer, and we didn't last week. And yeah, pretty much it. You were the greatest questions we're in stream today. Do you have any more questions, folks, that you'd like to have answered about AI security? AI cyber security. What are some questions I'd like to have answered? What are some questions we've accumulated on stream lately? Let me have my chat, because I have a chat where I talk to myself. And where I talk to myself and I haven't asked myself any questions that I may have, so you get distracted. Because that chat I use is WhatsApp, and WhatsApp has my friends' messages, so it gets a little distracting. So what are some questions that I have from a... Oh yeah, chunking algorithm. I'm pretty down to that. What the fuck is a chunking algorithm? That's another question I have. Chunking algorithm. All right, let's start with that. And then we'll check into classifiers protecting the AIs. What the fuck is a chunking algorithm? Pretty sure it's something relevant in LLMs for RAG. Oh, I think I know now. Chunking algorithms and retrieval augmented generation. So folks, let me explain retrieval augmented generation. Retrieval augmented generation. Well, I feel like my face is not bright enough, no? Especially on this side. This side is pretty dark. Increase power. Unlimited power. There we go. Now that's a better lighting, no? Now we're better. Well, ideally we should wear the Cyber Doctor lab coat. We should. But we don't have to, no? Like I see you every day. Every damn day. Every damn day. Do we have to wear it? I don't know. Maybe. So question. Who does, bunch of questions. More like, okay. Yeah, what is RAG? So when you launch an AI algorithm, when you launch an LLM, a large language model, you want to have the large language model based its response on information that is available. Not necessarily that it's been trained on, but information that is also relevant that it hasn't been trained on. So let's say you're a company, you're a car company, and you have documents on many, many components, and you want answer on one of these components. And you just type in your LLM, and you don't want to go look for the document yourself and upload it to ChatGPT or to whatever AI you're using. That's annoying. Yeah, you have to go and find it. Oh, that's annoying. And sometimes you don't even know that these documents exist. Maybe you're an intern in this car manufacturing company. If somehow you find an internship in this sector, because there's not a lot of jobs there right now. So let's say you're an intern and you just have no idea. The LLM will actually go and find the things that you're looking for you using RAG. So we'll take the LLM's gonna be like, I don't really know this. Let me go see if I can look somewhere for it. And it goes like, yo, RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. You got any of them documents for me to look for in the database? And RAG goes like, oh yeah, man, I found this one. It's really good. RAG speaks like that. And yeah, you should use it. And LM says, all right, thanks, bro. I'll get looking at it. And then the LM looks at it. It looks at it. And then it goes like, I got my answer. And then the intern can live happily forever because they have their answer to whatever car related thing they did. Does that make sense? That's why retrieval augmented generation is pretty nice. Now, some people say it's dying because there's less of a need for it now that Rouse AK, hello, dancing dinosaurs. Hey, hey, hey. Nice. Hey, Rouse. We're talking about retrieval augmented generation, also known as RAG. Retrieval augmented generation. Oof. RAG. So, we're just saying how we're looking at chunking algorithm for RAG. So, how do they work exactly, these chunking algorithm? And the reason why we're looking at this, folks, you might be like, what? Is this a cyber stream? Is this an AI stream? Is this a brag? Never heard of it. No, you don't brag, Ross. At least I've never heard you do it. Brag, never heard of it. Really? No, you're trolling, right? Yeah, Ross, you're trolling. You're trolling me. Yesterday, no troll. No troll, really. It's a cyber AI stream. Thank you, Ghost, for summing it up. That's right, that's what it is. No troll. All right, okay, I'll tell you in a sec. Hey, Ghost, we're not going to be coding today. Not like yesterday. You usually come on these coding streams. So we're going to be talking about cyber concepts and AI cyber concepts. And you're welcome to ask questions, but they won't be like actual coding or application building. If you'd like us to see the application that we built yesterday being taken down, you got to come back tomorrow. I feel like I'm a bus driver that's like telling people what's going to happen. Like, yo, we're not going to this destination today. I don't think you're going to like it. Come back tomorrow. I feel like, I don't know, some kind of bus driver, some kind of gatekeeper. All right. So Rouse is not trolling. No, Rouse does not know about Raga. All right, so let's talk about Raga. Well, we just did, but it's okay. We can talk about it twice. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So, yeah, we're giving an example. If, for instance, if you're starting out in martial arts and you're at martial arts academy, and in martial arts there's many disciplines, right? There can be many documents. There can be many documents about different parts of fighting, right? And there can be one on Taekwondo, one on Muay Thai, one on karate, judo, and stuff like this. There's many ways you can fight. And so the algorithm, the LLM, has not been trained on data like that. Just make sure the door is closed. The LM hasn't been trained on this kind of data. So so ideally what would happen is that according to your question, if you say, oh, how do you do a reverse kick in karate? And the LLM is going to be like, yo, I don't really know this. Let's see if we have any documents that are concerning this topic. And it's going to go and look, a karate. Oh, hey everyone. Oh, Blazebits. Thank you very much for the raid. All right, if there's 38 viewers, we got to wear the lab coat. Thank you very much for the raid, Blazebits. Appreciate it. Where the doctor coats? I know Nullsec. I'll get it. Jeez. Nullsec calling me back. Caramba. Hack the planet, of course. Thank you very much for the raid, BlazeBit. Hack the planet, yes. Cookie eater. Goose is here hacking the planet as well. Nullsec. Hey everyone. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we got the lab coat on. Today, folks, we're having a little conversation around AI cybersecurity. That's what we usually do. This is a topic we focus on. And we're just talking about with Rouse about the, 38, holy moly, that's a lot of people, huh? We're just talking about RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Thank you very much, Mantroop, for following. Welcome, welcome. Sliding into it. 13 Omobi Mac. Nice. Cookie Monster. Nice. What were you folks up to with BlazeBits? What was today's stream about? Today we're going to answer a few questions, folks. This is kind of all the questions that we accumulated since the past days we've been streaming. These are questions we've been accumulating, and we decided today is the nice day to answer them. So we got a chunking algorithm. We got we're going to answer this first, and then how the classifiers protecting the LLM working. LLMs, maybe it's easier if I just put it like that. How's AI performance measured? This is something I've always questioned. Like, how do you measure performance? Like, this model's better than this one. Is it judged by LLMs? Ah, Wednesdays is Hacker News for the week. Nice. Nice, nice. That's really cool. Benchmarks. So, are you answering this question? Is this benchmarks? We'll see. We'll see, Nullsec. Cyber News, and you talked about bench. Okay. Yes, okay, nice. So we'll look at benchmarks. Cyber News. Man, I got what he said. Ah, nice. Nice, nice. Pretty cool. So we talked about benchmarks today. This is what you talked about. Huh, interesting. Why do some jailbreak work and not others? Yeah, like, I'm curious as to why some jailbreaks work and why others don't. Is it purely, that's what he said. Nice. Ghost having fun. Why some jailbreaks and not others? Yeah, exactly. Sometimes jailbreaks work on some things and others don't, so it's an interesting question. And would cyber insurance cover AI attacks? This is my specialty, folks, because I work in cyber insurance. So, yeah, this is all questions we're going to tackle today. And so we're going to start talking about RAG. RAG is something I know about. Chunking algorithm is not something I know about. So let's talk about RAG. You folks know what it is? What it is? RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Just as a survey, you guys know what it is? Or even need to put my hair up. The Linux developer on a surface level knows what it is. Nice. Really awesome gravy. Hey, Rabbit Paperclip. Welcome, welcome. I haven't heard about the chunking algorithm either. Okay. Not I. Okay, cool. I always assume that people know things because I specialize in this now, but it's nice to explain. I know about RAG. Nice. Nullsec knows. But you haven't heard about the chunking algorithm. I think the chunking algorithm is part of this RAG system. So folks, if you haven't heard about RAG system, RAG is basically the idea of in a world where you have a ton of information, how do you make sure that the algorithm keeps the best parts of keeps the best information possible? So let's say that you're in a supermarket, your supermarket chain, and you have thousands of products, thousands upon thousands of products, and you're using ChatGPT to feed in, for instance, your e-commerce website, where people say, okay, there's this tomato sauce. It has a little bit of a product description, but there's a product description that comes from the seller that's a lot more complete. And there's an LLM on this e-commerce platform where you can buy, let's say, tomato sauce, and you want to say to the algorithm, hey, I'm allergic to this very ingredient or to this compound, or I want to know if it's gluten-free or things like that. And the algorithm, the LLM doesn't necessarily have that information and it doesn't want to make up something. So this is when retrieval augmented generation becomes very Campbell's, exactly. This is where retrieve augmented generation becomes very interesting because you're taking information from the product information and then you're displaying it to the user. So there's an algorithm out there that goes and fetches, hey, there's this tomato sauce. What is the best document that is likely to answer the client's question? And so the thing is, there's different places where this information could be found. It can be found in the product description. It can also be found in the brand, because maybe as 13OB Mac says, mm, maybe the brand Campbell's doesn't ever use like maybe the brand always has gluten-free options. So perhaps the information about the brand will say, hey, regardless whether if the product page mentions it or not, the Campbell's never has gluten. So the RAG will pull out all the different documents pretty quickly and then be able to say these ones are the ones that contribute most to answering the question. Take them, put them in the prompt, and then the LLM will take care of this information and then send the prompt to the user. The prompt to the user that has the full information. Does that make sense, folks? I don't explain this often. It's the third time in a row I'm explaining, but I don't feel like I'm getting better. I think this example with the soup is pretty good. How does the semantic search? This is a really good question. So from what I understand, Nullsec, I'll tell you what I understand and then we'll confirm afterwards. The RAG, well, I know this a bit. Huh? I've done a bit of research about it. The RAG, what it does is it creates different vectors. You explained it 5th time. Cyberpunk Reno. Jeez, what a troll. What it the RAG, what it does is it creates different vectors. It creates different data points. It will, you see my, let's go here. Let me show you here. The RAG will basically say file 1 has vector, it has value 3, 6, 19, well 29 I guess, and 0, 4, 0. And then file 2 is going to have this. Each file is going to have a unique number, a vector, but I think with way more description, with way more vectors. I don't know, there can be like 20 or even more. And then each file is going to have a unique ID, and then you're going to take in the prompt and you're going to be like, okay, this has vectors that seem to be like this. Maybe I'll take the top 5 files that are the closest to this vector. Does that make sense? Ooh, BlazeBits is explaining better. Well, explaining further, let's say, I'm not sure if better. RAG breaks documents in chunks, passes these chunks into an embedding model to create embedding vectors, then uses those to find the closest vector to the user's input. The found chunks get added to the context. Yeah, so it's a more scientific explanation of what I explained. Each file here gets a chunk, passes those chunks into an embedding model, and creates embedding vectors. So these are the vectors here that BlazeBits is talking about. Then uses those to find the closest vector in the user's input. So then you calculate the vector of the user input, and you're like, which file could most likely benefit from this? That's how it works. Yes, how it organizes them into a latent space. So Nullsec, you seem to know quite a lot about this already. Cache Mania, this reminds me of old LDA or Word 2 Vec days. Thank you very much to Shine the Savage Coffee Bean. Nice, Savage Coffee Bean. We have a rabbit paper clip and a Savage Coffee Bean. Love it. I've been working on AI for as a hobbit, as a hobbit. I've been working on AI for a bit as a hobby, as a hobbit. Well, my brain just went bananas. Nice. All right, Frodo, what did you do with my LLM? Exactly. All right, so this is what but chunking algorithm, I think, is the algorithm that breaks into chunks. So we'll see at what part of this is the chunking algorithm. At what part of this is the chunking algorithm actually relevant? So let's read about it. There's nothing better than AI to teach you about AI, I think. Source, trust me, bro. All right. Chunking algorithms in retrieval augmented generation divide large documents into smaller pieces so an AI model can search and process them effectively. Key strategies include fixed size, recursive character, and semantic chunking. Common chunking strategies. Do you actually folks know what chunking even means? Define. It's like chunks. I know what it is. It's like a piece of something. It's like creating pieces, I guess, no? Chunking is a process of breaking large amounts of information into smaller, manageable parts to make them easier to remember, understand, or process. Can you also chunk a cookie? Or that's not something you do? You can say, oh, you say cookie chunks, no? Chunking can also refer to other things, not just information. All right, so cool. So chunking algorithms basically chop information. That's what they do. Closeness depends on the function used, but cosine, similarly in I'm not sure I understand this word. Cosine similarly in the normal default, which is the angle between two vectors. Cosine, all right, I'm going to define cosine. Sounds like a French person saying cuisine. Cosine is a math rule that compares the side next to an angle in a right triangle to the longest side, written as adjacent over hypotenuse. It's quite bright. All right, the cosine is that. All right, so I think it's a mathematical thing. Closeness depends on the function used, but cosine similarity is the normal default, which is the angle between two vectors. So it's how closest is calculated. Chunking, as if you have a 10K document, you can chunk it and say 1K chunks and get 10 chunks. So embeddings would be whoa. Okay, so embeddings would be how it would know how to group all the soups together in your analogy, or rather documents about soups. Okay, y'all are confusing me. I think you're a little advanced. Let's go little by little. So chunking algorithms go. I think some people know, and they're giving out the perfect explanation. But I think for me and maybe some of you folks, it'd be easier to take it baby steps. All right. So chunking algorithms, and so folks, you might be wondering why the heck are we talking about retrieval algorithm? Mm, and you're like, I'm a cyber person. I don't need to know this. That's true. You probably don't. But if you wanna hack properly AI, you need to understand how rack system works because they're quite important in defending. If they're such a useful tool that everyone to an extent makes use of them. So you have to understand how they work so you can hack them better as well. Like if you're a penetration tester and you want to hack a rack system, you probably want the chunking algorithm to recognize the document that you might be inserting in a certain way. So you have to understand how they work. Holy moly! 13 Moby Mac, 13 OB Mac sent us the Bible in the chat. All right, let's finish here with chunking algorithm. We'll get a good sense of what that is, and then we'll get it. You got this, sir. I need to head out, but have a great day. Thank you very much, Blaze Bits, huh? Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So common chunking strategies. Fixed size or token chunking splits text strictly by a set number of characters or tokens. Okay. Splits text strictly by a set number of characters or tokens. You're like, we'll do it token by token. Often using a sliding window with overlap to keep neighboring context. It is fast and simple, but can cut words or sentences in half. Okay. So this is the usual way of cutting pieces. Recursive character splitting tries to split text using a priority list of natural boundaries, such as double line breaks, paragraphs, single line breaks, spaces, and characters until each piece fits the target size. This is the most common default for RAG. Okay, so we're going to learn this one more time. Recursive character splitting tries to split text using a priority list of natural boundaries, such as double line breaks, single line breaks, spaces, and characters until each piece fits the target size. So the chunks are quite large then. Chunks are quite large. I don't understand this. All right, let's read some comments here. So the embedding would just be how you know the soup's all what they're gonna analogy. Okay. Thanks again, Blaze Toodles. Nice. Nullsec being kind. I like the idea of a hybrid RAG. Which companies' multiple retrieval paradigms typically blend a keyword-based lexical search with vector-based semantic matching to improve accuracy and context awareness. Some architectures further integrate structures databases or knowledge graphs with unstructured data to provide more comprehensive information access. From Google's. Nice. Well, thank you very much. Just a mix of those. Bobby. You can call me Bobby. I called someone Bobby? Oh yeah, Bobby Mac. I'll call you Bobby then. I like it. It's arbitrary. Who is the best vibe coder? I am. Just kidding. I think Nullsec can be quite good at vibe coding. Is there such a thing as who is the best vibe coder? Like vibe coding competitions and stuff like this? Maybe, I'm sure there are now, huh? If there's an Excel competition, there has to be a vibe coding competition. So chunking basically means taking information. So let's define what a chunking algorithm is in our own words. Chunking algorithms simplify documents for searching and for chunking algorithms simplifies documents for searching and for searching and for processing into the LM. There are different methods. All right. To do it. I'm going to stick to that for now. I think it's enough. We don't need to get too deep into RAGs at the moment. And we can keep going on the classifiers protecting LLMs working. Yes, there are. And real coders make the best vibe coders. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Real coders make the best vibe coders. Absolutely. And I think salaries are going to go up for top coding talent. What sucks right now a little bit more is if you're a junior in development, oof, and you haven't and you don't have a job yet. It's scary, because we don't need juniors anymore. I'm thinking for my job too, huh? I work in cyber insurance, folks, but I'm thinking at one point, like we used to have. I'm talking about last year. We used to have an intern that would fill out risk assessments. It's really boring. You'd have to. I mean, it's not. It's pretty boring. You have to read a document and click on bullet points to see which option matches most. Like you have to say, all right, is there an EDR, and the intern will go read the thing, and we're like, is there an EDR? Oh, they have antivirus, and they have firewalls, and they have this, but it's not really an EDR. And then you have to type in the comments. Nowadays, come on. You just click, drag that thing, spit on that thing, and then you get yourself a nice filled out questionnaire in a matter of a minute, 2 minutes. And yeah, no need to train an intern to do it. So it's kind of like, do we still need an intern? And the question becomes, interns is a great for talent pipeline afterwards because they're trained. But who really wants to spend the time training them when there's no need to have them in the first place? You're like, there's no easy task for them to do and learn with those. So that kind of sucks, and this is why we're all screwed. There's a generation of people that are not going to have an easy time entering the workforce. So it's another time Gen Zs get screwed over. Gen Zs get screwed all the time. That's true, but at some point, they will realize they need junior because that's how you get seniors. That's true. Senior salary is going to go through the roof, so you're going to be like, oh, okay, I guess I have to train a little guy now. For jobs that don't really have time, that don't really have progressions, those will be automated. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's what you mean. I agree with that. Like a big incentive in training someone in having a job that like if you just do something doesn't have the possibility of making you more money, there's no you want to make it more more easy to we want to make it automated because there's not much gain in training that person doing that skill better. Epistemic arcanist. Ooh, epistemic arcanist says, yeah, and probably skill as a junior is now harder. Skill as a junior now is to make sure you're better than a senior just asking an LLM directly. But there's no way you're going to be better than a senior. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. So your work has to be such high quality that you have to beat a senior doing a simple thing. I understand. Five Scroll says, what if employers start recording your every movement? Better than the LLM. What would you think will happen if they start recording your every moment? Maybe they do that, huh? They're already doing that at Facebook. I talked to a Facebook employee, I think, lately. Was it a Facebook employee? I don't even remember who it was, but they told me, yeah, they're tracking every mouse click and stuff that you have. I think I might have watched a video featuring a Facebook employee. Man, I think they're my friends, but they're just videos I watch on the internet. Like from YouTube and all. No. So Facebook, yeah, records every click out there, and they're not afraid to show it. Like they want to track exactly how you work, and I think they have the right to do so. It's their laptop. You can say it's for security purposes, legally or something like that. They are. Meta does. Yeah, exactly. Filter the crap LLM produce. I would also want to record my every movement to counter. I would start secretly recording. Man, good luck. Good luck. If you're planning to like have some malware on like or some kind of recorder onto your Meta device, like if you work for Meta and you want to somehow have some tools that are not allowed, I think it's pretty damn hard. I think they invest quite a lot in security, and they have so many employees that they don't necessarily trust with so many accesses that they have top-notch security. I think the CISO at Meta has a lot of work. I would also want to start secretly recording. There are also stories of companies rehiring juniors for basic coding because it's cheaper than token costs. Really? Really? Junior costs? Junior costs what? Like let's say the most like a regular, like let's say you're in Oklahoma, you're in Tulsa. How much does a junior cost you? maybe 50K salary and 20K extra expenses, so like 70K. Does that seem like a decent salary for a junior in Oklahoma? So 70K, that's about 6K per month. 6K per month. You're telling me that 6K per month, let's say they work 20 days. So that's $300 a day. It's cheaper. It's not cheaper to get a it's cheaper to get a junior than maybe, huh? Maybe than tokens. I heard there was a like the token maxing boom. You guys heard about that? I don't know if it's their equipment, but they are their employee. Yeah. This. Yeah. So while knowledge may be commoditized by the LLM, it's not an itself an intelligence. Man, Bobby is bringing out the academic text, huh? You still need to turn a knowledge into actionable or valuable insight, whatever you're doing, aka garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. And LLMs can be pretty damn good at dropping garbage. AI is still a lot of hype. Yeah, for sure. Epistemic anarchists. It's harder at the moment given all the subsidies for tokens. This will probably become bigger. What do you mean the subsidies for tokens? You mean tokens are cheaper than they should be? Epistemic arcanists? You should see the API bills. Yeah. Yeah, I bet they're pretty high. But they're pretty high. If you have a large workforce, I think they're pretty high. What does a junior do? Train an LLM then? What's good? Yeah, I don't know. Juniors? Well, I don't know what a junior developer does. Like define functions, maintain databases, patch. What does a junior do, folks? Do you know what juniors developer do? Like, what are some easy tasks that one can do in development? All right, let's stop pretending like we're working and actually go to the overall. Okay, we're there. Um, yeah, what do juniors do? Look at the guy who developed OpenClaw. He was hired by OpenAI and was burning like 2 million a month on tokens. Yeah, $2 million a month on tokens. Holy shit! Man, these things these companies don't give a shit how much you're burning on tokens. I mean, especially since it's their tokens, right? OpenAI uses their own tokens, so like probably they make a little margin on that. Victor Troz says on subscriptions. Epistemic anarchists. Yeah, LLM companies are subsidizing tokens cost to get new users. Yeah, so they're making it cheaper on purpose. Develop juniors, write code in docs. Ah, this is what junior developers do. But they probably don't write the same code as a junior. For instance, what task would you give a senior developer that you would not give a junior underwriter? Like deep debugging, but everyone has to do debugging, no? Do they just do the same job, just one is better at it than the other? Is that the difference between? I think so. Because at my job, for instance, there are junior underwriters and there are senior underwriters, and there's just regular underwriters. There's different ranks of underwriters. And underwriters are people like me who are doing insurance policies. We're a little bit of sales because we have to be with the client. We have to be like, okay, how can we best be your insurance partner in this? And you have to do a bit of analysis, and then you have to do a bit of conversation, negotiation, stuff like this. We have to contact different departments, and then we have to come out with a policy with an offer and everything. And there's not much difference between me, who's a junior still, and my colleague who's a senior in what we do. It's just that she has the ability to do to approve more things. And she does things a little bit faster. She does things a little bit better. And because she has more experience and stuff like this. So this is the difference maybe between maybe there's different similar things in development where a developer with experience can push more code into the production, for instance, they have more authorities. Maybe they work faster, maybe they work a little bit better, they know the product a little bit better, and they answer the junior's question a bit more. So I think I just answered my own question here. It's probably the same model as what we have in insurance. What do you think, folks? Was my description fitting what you thought was a junior developer versus a senior developer? Epistemic Anarchist says, I think the enterprise per token costs are more realistic than I think the cal is that a $200 plan gives about $7,000 of tokens. What? The cal is that a $200 plan gives you about $7,000 of token. Where'd you come up with that? There's no way he was doing it efficiently. I bet lots of churn. Yeah, probably. Damn, I've never used probably $100,000 in tokens as a hobby. Then, yeah, I think you have to push it very hard to get all these tokens being used. Epistemic Anarchist says, "Oh yeah, I'm sure you could do a lot more efficiently, and that will likely become a skill in the whole LLM industry. If the whole LLM industry doesn't collapse first, but the fact that they're subsidized the tokens makes me scared." Because I've become so dependent on LLMs for whatever I do. Like, look where we are. Oh no, you don't see. But we were looking at chunk algorithms to Google. We're becoming so dependent on LLMs. I'm like, wow, if all of a sudden the prices triple for LLM at my work, I'm not sure we'll be using them anymore. Hey, what do we have? We just hit a target. Follower goals, 280. Amazing. Who started following us? I didn't see. We can see at the bottom to the latest awesome follower. Hold on, let me just put myself, move down. Okay. So now we're probably up and we can see here it is a foot long icicle. Thank you very much for following us. Thank you, thank you. And we just hit our goal. Amazing. I mean, I didn't set these goals. Twitch was just like, this is your goal. I'm like, okay. All right, if you say so, Twitch. All right, we can make it more efficient. Cool. Exactly. Seniors can approve, merge more. Okay, nice. Are you even good a lead code medium now? Do a lead code medium now. What is a lead code medium? Lead code is the code where you put in sevens instead of T and stuff like this. Nice. Are you even good? No. No, not that good. Robert Bear Clip says, yeah. Between 7 and 8K of tokens. But I also wonder, a lot of junior developers are stuck doing hourly work training AI. In coding, how does that work, Five Scrolls? Man, we're doing the usual catching up on texts and then being late and then not remembering what we said 2 minutes ago. Rabbit Paperclip, take Entropic's published API rate and count your tokens from session history logs. I'm up to my 3rd subscription on Max this month. No. Rabbit Paperclip, you're spending like $300 or more? No way. What do you do with all these? What do you do with all these tokens, Rabbit Paperclip? Man, I'm scared to ask. I'm scared to ask Rabbit Paperclip what he's doing with his tokens. I didn't calculate myself. That's what I've heard from people who compare the rate limits on plans to the per token costs. So like the electricity, the development, everything like that. China will keep cheap tokens flowing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The valuation you can get is so good. The data there, like just people dumping their data, is just so good. Is the value? Yeah, I can burn through them fast. I've had to learn how to use them efficiently. Tokens. Footlong Cycle saying Kappa, nice. I only plan in Fable Opus. Rest is Sonnet now. But how much do you type? Like Rabbit Paperclip, how much of your day do you spend vibing in general? Like you must spend a lot of hours to max out 3 plans. Lead code is just how you practice for good developer jobs. Oh yeah? Let me look at lead code. The world's leading online program. Lead code is a platform to help you enhance your skills, expand your knowledge, and prepare for technical interviews. Oh. A new way to learn. Lead code is the best platform to help you enhance your skill, expand your knowledge, and prepare for technical interviews. Man, I feel like they're a little bit boring on their platform. Like when you come in on, for instance, on what's it called? Hack the Box and stuff, it's a lot more fun. Oh, wait, that's all the page there is? No way. Man, that's a shitty landing page. Holy moly, that's a bad landing page. You should have like customer reviews. Like explain here what it is. Lead code is the best platform to help you enhance your skills, expand your knowledge, and prepare for technical interviews. In what? In your Ninja Academy weirs? Like explain me what it is. Lead code is the best platform to enhance your skills, expand your knowledge, and prepare for technical interviews. This could be for Udemy. This could be for so many platforms. Like, dude, explain me what it is. Like Udemy, when you go on their website, you probably get better stuff. Why am I so upset at this? You see? They're going to take you here. Building fluency from $12.99. Build cross-teams skills that help you grow in any role. Offer ends 30. This is way clearer and have fewer words. Learn essential career and life skills. Udemy help you build demand skills fast and advance your career in changing job market. See? It's a lot better than this. People are not that great at sales. I'm surprised. Come on, Lead Code. All right, Lead Code is a website where you do downloading question interview. Nice. Okay. YOLO Man is a lot more helpful to understand what they do than Lead Code themselves. China subsidizes to steal your code base and train their models. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Nullsec. All right, we're 3 minutes late behind chats. Building a paperclip factory. Nice. Dude, I was so sure this was going to come. I was so sure you were going to say that. Epidemis Arcanist. Do you folks know Rabbit Paperclip? I think you're active on a lot of chats, no? Rabbit Paperclip. Is this what you do while you vibe code? Epistemic. Well, epistemic arcanist. No, not actual cost of tokens, just the amount of tokens you get on the 200 per plan if you use enterprise API prices, which are... okay. So it's a lot cheaper to use a plan that you pay recurringly than buying tokens. It will help my agent get lead. Will help my agent get lead. Trust me, it's well known. It's well known. We know Rabbit lol. Pretty sure he's in the industry. Yeah, for sure. For sure must be in the industry. He's known in the industry. You think so? He's known in the industry. Rabbit Paperclip is like the president of the CIA or something. Bro has time to vibe code while leading the biggest spy organization in the world. Cool. Nice. I feel like accomplished now that I've caught up with all your chats. I feel accomplished. Okay, how are class? Okay, this is question 2 and we're already into the second hour of the stream. So this is going well. Not sure if he's red or blue, but he's nullsec, press enter a little too early. All right, so folks, our second question is how classifiers protecting LLM. Actually, before we do that one, I kind of want to do the other one. How are performance measured benchmarks and stuff like this? This is more interesting to me because it really doesn't make sense. Like, how do you measure that something is a good performance or a bad performance? How is LLM performance measured? Perfect. And look at that, another AI answer, just like that. Okay, watch your eyes. We're going to click on this white photo. So if you're sitting in your bed about to fall asleep, maybe you put your phone down for a sec. All right, LLM evolution metric. Accuracy metrics, perplexity, cross loss, cross entropy loss. Lexical singularity metrics. Bleu, rouge, météore. Relevance and informativeness. BERT score. Move score. I'm interested in BERT score. What the fudge is BERT score? BERT score is an evaluation metric that measures the semantic singularity of text using contextual embeddings, precision, recall, and F1 score. That rings a bell. I'm not sure if he's red or blue, but he's knowledgeable. Yup. He's not talking since we said he was the chief of the CIA. I had to time him out yesterday. Rabbit paperclip. Crazy that the one viewer I've had to time out so far was Rabbit paperclip. He deserved it though. Yeah, there's an insane amount of subsidization from VCs. VCs are what are they called? Capitalists, venture capitalists. Seeds backing these subscriptions. But who knows when the music stops and the providers just move to raw API token costs. Hopefully it's not for a while, lol. Yeah, agree. US government pumped $500 billion into the bubble. That's why RAM and SSDs are skyrocketed. I think there's a demand, for sure. There's a demand bump, but there's also a limited number of suppliers in RAM and SSDs. For real, so much of the stock market is directly correlated with the AI bubble. So that's fun, not lol. Yeah, those plans should of course be cheaper as they don't have the SLAs, guarantees of enterprise pricing. They can slow and peak, etc., but I think they are massively subsidized at the moment. Perhaps, yeah. It's nice when things are cheap. But the thing is, when the cheapness leaves and you're like facing the real price of it, you're like, fudge. I just created a dependency on something so big. That's this thing that's scary about AI, right? There's only like 5 companies dominating the AI space, the LLM space. And once they decide to stop making their things cheap, then we're screwed. Because at the moment, there's no real incentives to develop the little guys, right? Like if you're a company and you're working, you have to choose who to work with. You can work with Anthropic, with OpenAI, with Mistral, with some Chinese company. So you're probably going to work with those because they're good and they're cheap, right? They're good and they're cheap. There's like the 2 factors that matter in this. But then, because all the funding concentrates on these top 5 companies, then the smaller ones don't really get funding. And when all the large ones decide, okay, let's raise the prices, there's not going to be great alternatives. So you're going to be stuck paying this very hefty price until like Mistral or like until all the smaller ones start becoming good. And then there's going to be such a massive gap, you're going to be like, fuck it, I'm paying anyway. And so the gap is going to widen and widen because they have more funding. Wow. So it might be a dark future for the cheap AI world we're living in right now. Yeah, they left the public. Ooh. Yeah, they left the public market to serve just the data centers. Rabbit paperclip, tell us. Rabbit paperclip stays silent. Rabbit Paperclip perhaps just got a reset on one of his on one of his accounts for the tokens and is already trying to burn them as fast as possible. I want to hear the story. Yeah, they just left the public market. Server to the data center. It's worse than you think. The reason open weights models exist is to prevent competition. Oh yeah? What? Hold on, no sec. That sounds counterintuitive. The reason open weight models exist is to prevent competition. It's hard to get funding for a new company. I don't get that. The reason open weight models exist is to prevent competition. What do you mean? We're gonna be stuck using Grok, lol. Oh yeah, Grok. Is Grok bad? 5 scrolls? That comes from Sam Altman. Epistemic Arcanist says, yeah, when all those streamers stop coding their way to $1 million companies, realize their dev costs are actually unsustainable on real prices, it won't be great for them. No, I think you meant stop coding their way to $1 million company, realize their dev costs are actually unsustainable on real prices, it won't be great for them. Not sure I follow you on this. Epistemic Arcanist. Null says you can't get venture capital to start training new models because the new weight models exist, so they fill the niche. Yeah, I see. Like the open weight models are already so good that it's hard to get new funding on that. Is that what you mean, Nullsec? I wouldn't rely on trust on what Almond says about open weight model. I think he might not have end users' best interest in mind. Yeah, I agree. Oh, they don't want strategy. No, I mean slop coding leads to the bad end of vibe coding. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Slop coding. Yeah. I mean, you can slop everything with AI, right? You can slop coding, you can slop writing emails, you can, like, if you don't check over things, you're just going to sound silly. Apparently, there's many people that apply to jobs and don't even check that, like, they say hi name, and then they won't fill in the name. Or the AI will be like, okay, you got to fill out this out, and they just won't do it. They'll just, like, upload it like that. It's like, bro, try for 3 seconds. Yeah, so you can't challenge the existing frontier models to have a massive head start. Exactly. If you can't actually code, you end up burning tokens because all you can do is silly stuff like made this code better. Yeah, that's the thing. The code really belongs to the large companies, and once we develop a large dependency on them, they'll bump up the prices. We're fucked. As opposed to actual devs vibe coding who makes the model properly break things down, minimize unneeded change, etc. So what we need is to have what we need is to have yeah, a bit more models that are quite good. Otherwise we're a bit screwed. All right. Cool, folks. It's my time to beg. See a few of you that are chatting for a little bit and that are very welcome here. If you want to drop a follow, we stream every workday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on my time, which means midnight to 2 a.m. in New York. Thank you very much. Yay, we just got a follower. Who is that? 1 second, I have to make you bigger. 5 scrolls. Nice, 5 scrolls. Oh, and Victor. Victor Traza just followed. Oh, you're leaving. 5 scrolls. No. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciate you coming. 5 scrolls just joined us. Nice. He's not a clone. Who make the models break things, minimize unneeded change, etc. Have a good night. Ciao, 5 scrolls. No. I'm not ending. No. I'm not ending. We have another hour. And we need to talk about BERT score. BERT score. All right, so to give you a background on why we're talking about BERT score, watch your eyes. This is going to be a little bit bright. It's because there's different LMs evaluation metrics, accuracy metrics, lexical similarity metrics, relevance and informativeness, bias and fairness, efficiency metrics, and LLM-based metrics. LLM as a judge. LLM as a judge. Toxicity detection. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I want you to be toxic. Folks, I want to have fun on this and train LLMs to be toxic. I want to create my own toxic LLM. My god, that'd be fun, no? Toxic LLM. And one of these things that caught my eye is the BERT score, just because it sounds fun. BERT is a Belgian Dutch name. All right, so he'll be here another hour. Nullsec just reads the future. Yeah, he's here another hour. All good. Ah, nice. All right, BERT score is an evaluation metric that measures the semantic similarity of text using contextual embeddings, precision, recall, and F1 score. Folks, I'm going to take on my lab coat. It's too hot. It's too hot. I've been the cyber doctor for an hour. I need an hour of being regular math. That's hot. I feel like the you know Star Wars 1 when all the Jedis take out their robes? Oh, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, exactly. That. Take out the robes before they're about to fight. I think half of you are like, wow, this is cool, and half of you are like, what the fuck is he talking about? When they're fighting the guy with the double lightsaber. Hey, Epistemic, you followed. Nice, thank you. Welcome, welcome. BERT score is an evaluation metric that measures the semantic similarity of using contextual embeddings, precision, recall, and F1 score. So it just bunches a bunch of contextual embedding, precision, recall, and F1 score. Okay. Does that make sense to you folks? I think it's a combination of different things. I'm going to look at this image. It looks a little bit bright. So again, be careful. Okay, precision, 1 over absolute x, sum 1, ex, max x0. Is there such a thing on Twitch as a math category? Are there math streamers? I'm actually curious about this. I'm getting lost, huh? Twitch.tv, are there math streamers? Math. Satisfactory. That's a great game. Math en stream. Tous les jeudis à 20h, mes cocos. No. I think it's just Matt because his name is Mathieu. Matt G. I don't think anyone streams mathematics, no? 3 blue, 1 brown is good for LLM math. That's true. Hey, there's no kink shaming in this space, right? Uh-oh. If you're skipping down, I'll follow for sure. If you're stripping down, I'll follow for sure. Nice. Nice, nice. So you did follow for that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't read that. Hey, there's no kink shaming. What is kink shaming? Define. I feel like we're looking for definitions today. Kink. Kink is a physical twist in a robe, a minor problem in a plane, or an unconventional sexual performance. That's probably this last thing that you meant. Unconventional sex preference. I don't think so. Like, we don't talk openly about it, but if you have one, there's no shame in having one. 3 blue, 1 brown is good for LM math. I agree. I agree, but if taking off my robe means more followers, you know, I'll just be taking it on and off again. Fuck it, I'll just become a strip stream. All right, cool. So, measure performance. There's all these different metrics. You know what? Let's take this image into Claude because I'm paying for Claude, just like rabbit paperclip. Put a 0 at the end of new. All right, good morning, your cyber doctor. Good morning to you, Claude. All right, we're gonna go on high. I need you. Let's say good morning, Claude. I need you to explain the different methods of evaluating an AI as per this image. Make it interesting. Boom. Hey, Natir. Kasam. Ooh, questions. Exactly. Do you have a question you want to ask, Natir, specific? For Natir and for all the folks joining us right now, we're looking at these different questions that have bullet points before them, like little star bullet points. And right now, we are working on this current question. How is AI performance measured? And apparently it's with benchmarks. And so because we're a little lazy, we asked Claude. And we're paying for Claude, so might as well. Question 1. Can I play Doom? If not, we're done. Nullsec is really trying to figure out why you got a timeout rabbit paperclip. You can tell them the story, yeah, I don't mind. You won't get banned twice for it. Not banned, but timed out. But only if you want to. I'm not gonna tell it for you. Man, I want to tie up my hair. Do you mind if I leave for a second to get a hairband? If you say no, I'll understand. I'll be a bit sad, but I'll understand. If you say that you do mind. This diagram is basically a map of how you grade a machine that talks. And the far part is that no single number can do it. That was my second ban. The first time was 2 months ago. Really? I banned you? I timed out? No, I didn't. It was another stream, no? I would never ban you twice. I mean, I would, if you deserved it. All right, no one seemed to complain about their hairband, so I'm gonna go get one. Doo-doo. No, your stream holidays. Ah, right. No, that doesn't count as a ban. A timeout. If AI can't play Doom, then it's not good. It's not as great. Yeah. I mean, you could probably train an AI to play Doom very well. I mean, Doom is a shooter as well, no? It's like one of the first. It's like a very popular game from the 2000s. It's a shooter game, so of course AI could play this great. With auto, what do you call it? Auto aim. Did you pay AI? Seriously, look up Tomb for Temple OS, okay? Did you pay AI? Droma. Yeah, I remember. Droma, we met a few weeks ago, I think. Did you pay AI? I paid AI. I'm not sure if you're talking to me, but I paid AI here. And then Tropic is premium. It's premium. Too much work right now, nullsec. Ay, ay, ay. How would you keep it from cheating? All right, folks, let's talk about the metrics for AI protection. Good morning. This diagram is basically a map of how do you grade a machine that talks. And the hard part is that no single number can do it. Every metric here is different judge of what different obsession with a different obsession, and each one is a little bit blind. Here's the tour. Classic, no? It's like measuring anything is difficult by itself. Like one measure. Taking everything into one measure is just so difficult. My bosses are kind of obsessed at that. When we talk about cyber risk, they're asking, hey, what is this risk score? And they want a risk score from 1 to 10, which I think makes sense. It's my job as an analyst to make it easy for them to understand stuff. So yeah, it's like, woof. I think our job as an analyst, folks, the job of analyst is really taking a lot of information and simplifying it to the level of adequacy that is needed for business. This is what our job is. Job is to, like, what is adequate? What does a business need? What does the person need? And then you simplify it down to the most as possible. And this is what all these metrics are supposed to do. So they'll give you a different score for everything. They'll say what the LLM is good for and what it's bad for. And then most likely, they're going to get a score out of 100 out of 10 or something, or out of 800. I think there's different scoring rubrics. And the thing is, when you condense information so much, people's opinion, the score that they'll give it, will be very different. I think I'm losing you a bit, no? But I think the more you condense, the more variation there's going to be in the different analysts' understanding of it. If you want to have just one metric, one score for how something works, I might say it's a 6 out of 10. Rabbit Paperclip might say it's an 8 out of 10. And Droma might say it's a 7. Or there's a lot more variation. Well, if we have more metrics to agree upon, then we're more likely to agree to something that's like centralized. It's like centric. That makes sense. How would you keep it from cheating? Well, premium really helpful. Droma, what do you mean? Premium really helpful. Like, yeah, I paid for this. I don't know if I needed to, but I did. Here's something interesting I heard about. Instead of paying for AI, use fast food AI on their website, because apparently they use pay for Anthropic, etc. And so you can't use them. You can use theirs for free. Yeah. Like you go on the McDonald's LLM and then you can use them for free. Mathieu, but they can steal your code. That's true. Mathieu says 6.588975 out of 10. That's pretty damn accurate. Pretty damn specific. All right, let's go back to what Claude is saying. Accuracy models. How surprised is the model? Both metrics here peak inside the model's confidence rather than reading its output like a human would. Perplexity measures how surprised the model is by the correct next word. So perplexity is not just do you folks know perplexity? Perplexity AI? This is basically an LLM that specializes in searching on the internet. And I think it's built upon OpenAI. What model is this? I don't have enough context to provide which you're asking about. What model does Perplexity use? It's a multi-node center. You can route different things. The best free model. Okay. So it chooses a model based on your question. Okay. Maybe they have their own models running locally as well. I need to go to bed. All right. Ciao, Nullsec. Thank you very much for being part of this for this time. Your insights are wonderful. 5 scrolls. Not sure how useful my Unity game dev coding is going to be to McDonald's. That's true. Or your personal questions about men's health and stuff like this. Most of it is not, I mean, yeah. You are giving away your information, but it depends what you're revealing, right? Perplexity and grok are both LLM technical terms. Ah, really? Ah, grokking is pretty interesting phenomenon in training. All right, you have to stay for that then. Hold on, what is grokking? All right, let me just make a little ad about what we're doing tomorrow. So if you haven't joined us yet for a stream, we're creating our own application. For now, it's called the CyberDoctor API Store Works. So it's live. We have a CyberDoctor application, and we have created it so that we can hack it. Tomorrow we're hacking it. We created our own API that works with an LLM, and tomorrow we're going to hack it. And then afterwards we're going to install guardrails. And afterwards we're going to hack it again. And afterwards we're going to make it more secure. And afterwards we're going to hack it again. And then afterwards we're going to hack it with voice, I don't know, with RAG, with different things. And then we're going to learn this way. Back and forth. Hacking, defending, hacking, defending, hacking, defending, defending, hacking. Natir is asking, are you into hacking, etc.? Yep. Yep. You see here in the title, we're day 174, something like that, 73. This is 173 days of hacking. Usually that's what we do. This is more the exception stream than the rule. We don't really talk that. We talk a lot. I don't know about you, but I think we're one of the streamers that talks the most out of all the streamers. Like, we talk a lot. But we talk a lot, but our focus is LLM hacking. Yes, LLM hacking. Natir, will it try to make it like McDonald's video game? Wow, maybe it will. I'll try to get Ronald McDonald in there. Man, I swear that's like the most creepy thing. Ronald McDonald. It's just like a clown that comes to your birthday party and gives you burgers and fries. Creepy. Did you folks celebrate any of your birthdays in McDonald's? Or like a friend's birthday at McDonald's? Oh no. I think that was before. All right. So, made it quite similar. All right, so accuracy metrics. Look up the original Ronald McDonald's. This guy is creepy as fuck. All right. Oh, and then afterwards we get back on LM hacking. Original Ronald McDonald. Holy shit. He's got a cup on his nose. Wow, the cup is horrible. In the pizza box. This was AI colored or something. Damn. That's pretty damn creepy. Man, I think the creepiest thing is the hair on the cup. If you put like a regular clown nose and give him a decent haircut, it looks like a pretty regular clown. Looks like a serial killer. What a clown. Yeah. Looks like a serial killer. So have you been to any birthday parties with Ronald McDonald present? Or at McDonald's in general? All right, perplexity measures how surprised the model is by the correct next word. Low perplexity means the model saw the answer coming. Huh? High means that it was floundering. Okay, I feel like I have to get a fucking dictionary and learn the English language. I don't understand what floundering means. I think most of you come from the United States, so you have a pretty good idea of flounders. I know these. Floundering means struggling, moving clumsily, or failing to make progress in a helpless way. So high perplexity means, oh, The model was very surprised that I love how Natir says once as a kid. Man, yeah, okay. I was just assuming that someone would do their 30th birthday party at a McDonald's. Like you go to your friend, they're 30, and you go celebrate their birthdays together, and all of you go to McDonald's. That'd be pretty damn funny, actually. Like a bachelor's party at a McDonald's with Ronald McDonald in there, and then you get to go on the slides and drink beer. Sounds pretty damn fun. That means it was floundering. Okay, so how surprised the model was the correct answer. So low perplexity saw the man and the model saw the answer coming. High means it was floundering. Okay. We don't have beer at McDonald's in America. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, so you are in America. Let's see. We're gonna try to make Rabbit Paper Lip reveal that he's the president of the CIA. President CIA. Head of is John Ratcliffe. Okay. Was sworn in January. He was nominated by the President of the United States, confirmed by the Senate. So where does he live? CIA headquarters. Man, I'm gonna give a flag for this. Is George Bush Center for Intelligence, located in Langley, Virginia. Hey, Rabbit Paper Clip. Where in America are you from? Langley, VA. Yeah. Like, where do you live since January 2025? Just a random question. They also sell spaghetti McDonald's. Yeah, in a drawer holding man. It's like the Rabbit Paper Clip is like an LLM with high guardrails to never say anything interesting. In some places in Asia, they actually have special wedding packages in McDonald's. Oh, no way. Wedding at McDonald's. Holy moly. Say no more. Drawer holding papers. Ay, ay, ay. We're never knowing where Rabbit Paper Clip is from. Perplexity measures how surprised the model is by the correct next word. Low perplexity means the model saw the answer coming. High means that it was floundering. Okay, so it's kind of like perplexity is a little bit a measure of how much the model sweated in doing its efforts. So if you ask it to run a marathon, you're going to look at its face at the end and see how much it sweated. Like, was it difficult for you? Low perplexity tells the model is fluent and predictable. Not that it's right. Okay, so it's a matter of fluency. Nice. Lexical similarity metrics. Did the words match the answer key? Bleu, rouge, meteor are a gold guard, borrowed from machine translation and summarization. They compare the model's output against a human written reference by counting overlapping words and phrases. Bleu learns towards precision. Did you use the right words? Rouge towards recall. Did you cover the reference? And meteor is the more forgiving one and understands synonyms, word stems, and so quick and fast don't get punished. So two words that are quite similar don't get punished. The fatal flaw is that they reward copying. One brilliant answer using none of these references, the exact words, and Bleu will roast you. They measure word overlap, not meaning. Interesting. So just look for keywords on a specific topic. I'm in AU. AU is Australia. AU is Australia, I think. Yeah. AU, because there's kind of in Austria as well. Probably pretty pissed. Two letter is AT. Oh yeah, right. Probably pretty pissed that they got the AT. A-U-T. All right, cool. They're afraid of flaws either we're copying. Okay, so every metric kind of grabs different things. Relevance and informativeness. Do the meetings line up? This is the upgrade that fixes the previous category's blind spot. Bird score and mover score. The diagram moves move score, its mover score, use embeddings so they compare semantic meaning instead of surface words. Two sentences that say the same thing with total different vocabulary will score high. Nice. The difference between the teacher who checks if you use the exact phrasing versus one who checks if you actually understood the concept. We're pretty strict liquor licensing, but yeah, we have playgrounds there. We must be Czech Republic Shrug. Must have been Czech Republic Shrug, all blend together. Yeah, we do have beer at McDonald's here in Europe. I remember my dad having a beer in McDonald's. Like when I was a kid, we'd go to the McDonald's, I'd get a Happy Meal, go play the games, and my dad would have a beer. I don't know what to think about it. I don't understand people who have beer during their meal anyway. Like during a meal, it's not really the time to have a beer. Anyway, whatever. Efficiency metric, can you afford to run it? The pragmatist of the group, latency is how fast you get a response. Life or death for real-time apps. I agree. If you have an e-commerce app and your thing is slow, you're dunzos. You're dunzos. No one's going to have time to wait. They're going to go on other pages while you're still computing your first phrase. Like if you type in, you have to have the answer after 3 seconds, no more. I'm just making shit up, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works in e-commerce. Memory per tokens, memory tokens per second, and hardware load. A model can be a genius and still be useless if it takes 40 seconds and burns a fortune per query. This is the metric your CFO cares about. Yeah. Arc Saber, greetings. Do you think AI can replace coding? I can answer your questions about having a beer or wine during a meal while a meal. Tell me more of them. Tell me your opinion. Arc Saber. What's your opinion on having a meal? Oh, Switz. Howdy, Doody. Hello, Switz. Switz is from YouTube, folks. I'm not hallucinating. I don't have an imaginary friend called Switz. And Switz must be like, what the heck? Who's Rabbit Paperclip he's talking about? I haven't really invested in YouTube, Switz. So it's nice that you're here and celebrating with us, because yeah, we don't really have YouTube viewers usually. So for Switz and for all the people joining us, we're doing a little Q&A session where we're answering a few questions about how things are measured in about how. So resetting. This is official for resetting. So we are your cyber doctor. We usually wear a lab coat, but it's really hot in the summer, so we're not wearing it. But we stream every morning AI hacking. So we hack LLMs, and right now we've had a few sets of questions where we're like, okay, that'd be nice to investigate this a little bit more. And yeah, we're answering our questions that we have throughout the week. And so these are the questions that we have. We've answered the chunking algorithm bit, and now I think we are ready to answer the AI performance measured question. So let's talk about it. How is AI performance measured? AI performance is measured through a range of benchmarks. Is that a benchmark? A range of metrics that each focus on a different aspect. Each of them tells a different story. All have limitations and upsides. Now, I do want to understand what benchmarks are. What are AI benchmarks? Nice, we're just talking a bit. AI hacking, like hack AI, exactly. How to hack AI, pretty much. Yeah, Switz got it. There's two types of hacking. There's this hacking of using LLM, where you're like, all right, LLM, help me hack this web page. You know, for ethical reasons, of course. So this is the first type. And the second type is when you actually go and hack the LLM. And this is fun. I love it. At least I love it. And tomorrow we're going to hack our own LLM that we've been building for a little bit. So I encourage you to connect tomorrow in 22 hours, in 22 minutes. Nice. 22 hours and 22 minutes to see how we hack our algorithm. Sounds good, Chief folks? All right. Arc Saber is saying, I can answer your questions about having a beer and wine. It's an excellent combination if you have nothing planned later. It's a customary in Spain to have a 33-liter beer during la siesta for lunch. During siesta. Before siesta, no? You seem to live in the US, so I don't know if you have access to well-tasting beer and wine. Tío, estoy viviendo en España desde 14 años ya. Así que no me hables de la siesta. No, estoy de broma, eh? I'm kidding. I don't live in the US. There's sun on my face. Look, there's sun on my face. Nice. But Spain is really nice. Spain is really nice. I love it here. There's a reason I've been here for 14 years. AI hacking, like how to hack AI, exactly. Cool. So what are benchmarks AI? And benchmarks are standardized test data sets and scoring rules which used to measure and compare how well artificial performance on specific tasks like reasoning, coding, or math. Okay. So there's independent measures. There's two things. There's independent measures. There's metrics, and then there's benchmarks. Then there are benchmarks. Marks that are standardized tests as to how well a model responds to different questions. How will the model respond to different questions around coding, law, math, etc. Estoniano. Húngaro de Transilvania, pero vivo en Alemania. Wow. Like in Spain. Oh, I thought you were Spanish because you said that, but you also speak Spanish. Damn. Hungario de Transilvania. De Transilvania. Transylvania. Transylvania is a region, no? Isn't it more in Romania? Maps. Or Transylvania, Hungary, Romania. So it's probably around here. You're from here. Folks, this is Europe for anyone that's never been. Probably from here is where Arc Saber is. Hungario viviendo en Alemania. Okay, so living over there, but probably from there. Cluj-Napoca. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm a minority. Nice. Okay, cool. Then there are benchmarks that are standardized tests and how the difference between questions, a lot, etc. Okay. I have a last question, and then we can move on to another question. I have a last question about AI performance measurement. Just here to observe. What is your background, Switz? It's interesting that you got to YouTube without knowing anything. How did you find actually this stream? Just YouTube recommend? You're like, all right, let's click on it. Let's see what happens. Story. So my question is the following. If AI performance is measured through a wide range of metrics, how is AI actually developed and measured? Like, how does it work to say, okay, this AI is good enough? I'm going to try to articulate it to LLM. Are these metrics here used by LLM developers? I am curious to understand what kind of metrics are developed by people. I'm curious to understand what kind of metrics are used to improve AI. Like when a developer looks at the metrics and says, I need to do this action because this metric says that. Wow, that is confusing, but I hope Opus will get it. I just am the cybersecurity and scrolled, and there was your live. Nice. That's really cool. Glad you found me. Well, welcome. Yeah, we stream every morning from 6 to 8. I assume you're from Switzerland with this name. Switz. Miseris. Miers. Miers. So we stream from 6 to 8, and we do AI hacking only. So you have an interest in AI hacking then, I guess. Oh, no, excuse me, not AI hacking, Switz. But you have interest in hacking in general, in cybersecurity. Are you a student? Are you looking to transition into cybersecurity? Not just a pseudonym. Ah, okay. Okay, I thought you were Swiss. I don't think we have a lot of Swiss people on the stream. I look at the data and we don't have people coming from Switzerland. Maybe all the people from Switzerland have VPNs. Great question, and the honest answer reveals something the diagram doesn't quite show. That diagram is mostly a menu of evaluation metrics, ways to grade a finished model. But the metrics developers actually use to act on and improve a model fall into a narrower, more practical set. Let me split them the way a team actually experiences them, because there's a real difference between a metric you steer by and a metric you just report. There's steering metrics and there's reporting metrics. I love that. That's actually good. That's actually a good way of talking. There's many things in life where we do things like this. Was that a recent open jailbreak thing, a marketing campaign? Many people suggested it, and OpenAI seems to be behind. Indeed. OpenAI jailbreak thing, a marketing thing. Ooh, let's talk about it. We can talk about it later. ArcSaber. I love that question. Just to give some context on ArcSaber's question, he's referring, I think, to they're referring. I don't know what your gender is. They're referring to the hack of Hugging Face by OpenAI. We can talk about it later. The closest thing to you is your metric says X, so I do Y. Fantasy. Is the training loss cross entropy? This is the closest thing to your metric says X, so I do Y. Fantasy. And this is the most direct feedback loop in all of AI. Cross entropy. Okay. During training, the model is mathematically trying to push cross entropy loss down. Every adjustment makes it so it's billions of parameters in service of a single number, so developer watches a live graph of loss and it sucks them into constantly loss steadily dropping. Good, keep going. Nice. Loss suddenly spikes. A bad batch of data just hit. Oh, my learning rate is too high. They pause, roll back at the last checkpoint, and either clean the data or lower the learning rate. Loss flatlines early. The model stopped learning, adjust the schedule, change the data mix, and decide the run is done. Oh my god, this is interesting. So Swiss folks is a secondary education major in English. I just got bored and thought of how computers work. Nice. That's really cool. And you're like cybersecurity. Nice. Cybersecurity is a great way of working how computers work. But it's also a lot more about humans than other fields of IT, I feel. Because like cybersecurity is very often associated to how to cybersecurity is very often associated to technical things, going through logs, SOC work, vulnerability patching. But in the end, a lot of the vulnerabilities involve humans. When you think about phishing and stuff like this, it's a lot of how you deal with organizations, a lot more than we think. So yes, cybersecurity is about computers, but it's also a lot about humans. All right. So, very interesting thing here. We learn about the importance of cross entropy. So, cross entropy is we want it to reduce as small as possible. I'm surprised that there's only one metric here, cross entropy. I really wonder what it is. Perplexity is just the same number dressed up for humans. So, the whole left branch of your diagram is, in practice, the steering wheel. Let's look at the diagram again. Bleu, no, this is it. Perplexity and cross entropy loss. I really want to understand what is cross entropy loss. What is cross entropy loss? Use examples. All right, picturing, nice. Folks in the chat are talking about. Folks in the chat are talking about the cross entropy. They're talking about the incident that broke out between Hugging Face and OpenAI. Dude, and there's one thing for me that points to a media stunt. It's the fact that they announced a partnership right afterwards. Like, oh, cool, this happened. Now we'll partner. Sounds sus, my bruv. If it were really like that, I don't know why you would reveal it. You'd just be like, oh, my bad. And you're like, oh, okay. Are you sure you didn't mean any harm? Then you check the logs. You're like, okay, fine. This really does look like an LLM, and then you move on from it. So there's some elements that are pointing to a stunt, but I'm a little bit of a tinfoil hat person. Eval is a score or diagnostic dashboard. Safety metrics are the warning lights, and efficiency metrics are the fuel gauge. Uh-huh. Cross entropy loss is at heart a surprise meter. It measures how surprised the model was by the correct answer. Low surprise, low loss. The model was confident and right. High surprise, high loss. The model was confident and wrong. Which are the most punished thing of all? Let me build up real numbers. Every time an LLM predicts the next word, it doesn't output one word, it outputs a probability for every possible word in its vocabulary. So the sentence so far is the cat sat on the. Model says might say mat, might say floor, roof, banana, and so on for around 50,000 words. Holy moly. Now we know the true next word for the training text. It's actually mat. Cross entropy loss asks one simple question. What probability did you assign to the word that was actually correct? The formula is just one step. Loss is equal minus log probability the model gave the correct answer. Okay, that's it. You take the probability the model assigned to the right answer, take its logarithm, and flip the sign. The logarithm is what turns probability into surprise. Let's watch it work. Yeah. Epistemic anarchist has a nice take on it. I want to finish this real quick, folks. So stay, and then we'll talk afterwards about the incident that happened between OpenAI and Hugging Face. I'm buffering a bit today. That's it. You take the probability model assigned to the right answer, it takes its logarithm and filled the sign. Work example. Model says math 90% loss. Loss is equal to minus log of 90, which is 105. Barely surprised, tiny penalty. Model said math 10%. Really? 10%, 3.8, really big penalty. Okay. Model said my 1% loss. Model was blindsided, huge penalty. Model said that. Catastrophic. Model basically ruled the right answer out. Damn. Okay. So we want to reduce as much as possible the right answer. Notice the key behavior the penalty explores as your confidence in truth approaches zero. Being 90% right costs almost nothing. Being 90% hurts a lot. If you're being assigned the correct word, essentially zero probability, the loss shorts towards infinity. That asymmetry is deliberate. It teaches the model to never fly out the truth. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, folks. So so what it does, the entropy loss thing. I have a little bit of math experience here. ln curve goes like this. And here it dips to infinity, to minus infinity. And then it goes super slow. So the idea here is that we use the logarithmic scale to punish the instances where the model thought the right answer was very low probability, when in reality was very high. So the difference between 70 and 90% will be much less than between 30 and 10. Does that make sense? Like it's only a 20 point gap in each sentence each way, but the logarithms thing will be very different because of how much this curve dips to minus infinity all the way to zero. This is not exactly zero here. It should be like, whoochoo. This is not a good curve. Is this better? It should drop to minus infinity, not the zero here. It's like a wall here, which you see gets close, but it never actually touches. There we go. That's it. That's it. All right, let's talk about this hack that we were talking about, everyone. So, epidemist, epidemist, epistemic. Sorry, epistemic says I don't think that it was a marketing thing. They wanted it for marketing. I don't really think they choose Hugging Face and have to talk about open weight models and GLM. Any publicity is good publicity, as they say. Indeed. I think, well, OpenAI doesn't really need publicity, I think, no? Do they? It's more like in the context of them going public and everything. Maybe it makes sense for them to impress investors, to impress the right people. Yeah, of course they use PR thing and they choose to openly discuss it as a marketing thing, but I don't think it was all planned or anything. That response seems to be kind of conflating basic transformer accuracy metrics, sort of valuing you use for agentic system. That response does seem to be kind of conflicting for metrics and transformer you'd actually use for an agentic system. Interesting. The one from before? I'm not sure. This was from 5 minutes ago, so this makes sense to me for an LLM here. Less like an agentic system, because if you have to predict the next word, I think it's very much LLM focused. Also, remember that in modern LLM, they switch from that sort of loss-based back propagation during pre-training to reinforcement learning in the agentic training phase. So HyperSE is asking what we're doing right now. We answered a few questions for ourselves here on training LLMs. So Thursday seems to be a thing now. It's the second Thursday in a row where we answer the questions that we've had during the week, Hyper SE. So we are right now, we've answered chunking algorithms, we've answered how AI performance is measured. And there's different moments where AI performance is measured. The first time is when the yeah, I understand epistemic. You were switching from both in the page you were reading. I understand you were switching with both. It's all good. Um, and today we talked about chunking algorithms, which are things used by RAG systems, and we talked about AI performance measured. And there's different metrics, because metrics are useful in different times. Does that make sense? Like if you're instance for if you want to analyze weather patterns, you want to have a metric for tomorrow. If you want to measure tomorrow's weather, it's different than if you want to measure metrics of climate evolution, for instance. So this is what we kind of realized today with this. There's different metrics in LLMs, and the metrics might be different for what you evaluate during the creation, during the training of the LLM, and there's different metrics you'll use afterwards to evaluate its performance. And then again, it might be different if you're a person that's doing it for fun, if you're doing it for very practical reason. Like if you're a lawyer, you want to measure it for lawyer kind of questions, kind of thing. So there's so many metrics out there. This is what we're doing right now, Hyper SE. I went in pretty deep into answer your question. But regardless, we're your cyber doctor, and we are a streamer that focuses on LLM security, LLM hacking. Yeah, those last two comments were on what we're actually talking about, not the hacking diversion. Ah, okay, I see. Also remember that in modern LLM systems, they switch from that sort of loss-based backpropagation during pre-training to reinforcement learning in the agentic. That sounds like a great question for later. How is agentic AI being trained differently than LLMs? Plain LLMs. That's a great question. We didn't get to the cyber insurance one, or, this question. We're gonna organize our questions for next time, folks. Next time we do a stream like this where we do a Q&A. I want to have a bit more of an idea of what we want to answer. And I think this question is not as relevant as it once was, in the sense that, you know, some jailbreaks work and some others don't. It's just because systems are built differently. Systems have different vulnerabilities, and I don't think, and it's like saying what does a breach work and another doesn't. It's just because they're built differently. If everything was the same, then all jailbreaks would work in the same way. It's like in everything we have some vulnerabilities, and I think this is why jailbreaks work and others don't. So if you don't see a use to it, I would delete this question. These loss-based things like cross-entropy also applied systems like convolutional network before LLMs, i.e. transformers, were invented. Yeah, cross-entropy. I remember we used to talk about it as well. I did a master's in data, and part of it was machine learning. We used to talk already about cross-entropy. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast everything's developed since COVID. So folks, I'm going to delete this question. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. So how would cyber insurance cover AI attacks? So I'll answer this question real quick. This is my specialty, folks. For those that don't know, I work in cyber insurance, and therefore I know how cyber insurance covers AI attacks. So for right now, AI cyber, there's two different ones. Again, there's two different types of attacks on LLMs. There's attacks that are done by LLMs, which are covered, no questions asked. There's no difference at the moment for anything that's around AI cyber attacks. And then second, there's the attacks on your LLM. And AIs are usually included in the definition of what's called the IT system, the information system, and therefore this should be covered. Now, it depends exactly what the AI does and who maneuvers it. If it's an employee, if it's the CISO that accidentally deletes files using the LLM, could be covered, depending on what exactly is covered. But if it's a bad actor using the LLM to turn it against the company, there's no difference. Like whether you're using Salesforce to attack the company or you're using an LLM, there's no difference according to insurance policies. So in most instances, AI cyber attacks are covered. In almost all instances, actually, AI attacks are covered. And some insurers want to get rid of this because they're scared that something like Mythos and stuff is gonna ravage everything. But there's no proof of that yet. So for now, all insurances, folks, are covering AI cyber attacks. For the most part, all this is a bit of a generalization. Most of them do. I think some tricky insurers are trying to get rid of this risk, but for the most part, for large companies, they're getting insured on this. Cool, folks. It's been today's stream. How many of us are there? I'm just kind of curious to see a bit, and then we can decide who to raid. We got raided today by the one and only BlazeBits, so thank you very much. Let's give him a shout out. Can I do a shout out? Shout out. Nice. BlazeBits. Nice. Join us following. So yeah, follow BlazeBits. Also doing some cybersecurity. He's probably more advanced. I think more on the learning path to, we're definitely on the learning path to cybersecurity, to hacking in general, and BlazeBits is more into the industry for a while. So this stream is a bit more of a learning together kind of stream, and BlazeBits is a bit more of a like I'm teaching you kind of stream, if you can put it like that, or more advanced kind of stream, let's say. All right, so what are we looking at here? .god RPG game dev. Let's go into, can we type cyber? Roblox, Call of Duty. No, that doesn't work. All right, we don't have anyone online on InfoSec streams. Stick around, folks. We're gonna raid together, and yeah, hopefully someone that you all enjoy looking at. All right, so there's 16 of us. That's a lot of people. Nice. All right. Any recommendations on folks on who to raid? Well, yeah, hadn't thought of that, but those models must be like natural disasters of the cyber world. Exactly. And the thing is, in cyber risk, there's, when you do, for instance, when you think about property insurance, property insurance is insurance for buildings usually. Like, I own 3 offices. Can I insure them in case there's water damage or there's a fire or there's an earthquake, things like that? It's usually there's one thing that's going to burn down. I mean, unless it's a massive thing and then like a few things are going to build down. But the thing about cyber risk is that if there's a massive outage, if there's a massive cyber attack going on in the whole world, it's the most correlated risk there is. I think, if you think about it, a massive vulnerability that everyone exploits and everyone makes massive losses, or a CrowdStrike event where all screens turn blue for several days, for several weeks. This is the thing all cyber insurers are afraid of. That all of a sudden everyone pops at once, because having one claim every year or 3 claims every year, a set number of claims is what you want, right? But when the variation, there's 35 one year and then 0 the next, or 0 1 year and then 35 the next, that's the worst, because then you have to pay out a lot of money all at once. So this is the kind of thing that we're afraid of here in cybersecurity. So this is why you have to make sure that you understand the risk and that you pick the best ones. Our Irasakai is playing with wet process alchemy on the full moon. The fuck is that? Guy who loves infosec games and anime, metal, D&B. Do we rate Irasakai? The thing is, I have an ad, so I can't see what he's up to. All right. 3 seconds of ads. Does probably also link into the question of why OpenAI needs a publicity on the Hugging Face hack. Maybe governments take some accountability there, kind of important. They do for natural disasters. Yeah. That's true, huh? I didn't think about it, but yeah. It's true that it's a realization for people in the sector. All right, science and technology, 24 cybersecurity, Dark Side Diaries. Folks, I don't know who to raid. There's a cybersecurity 24-hour channel with a guy with a Texan accent. I'm gonna send you there. I don't really know where to send you, folks. So we're gonna send you on Dark Side Diaries. Come on, Anita Sakai is a AFK. All right, we're gonna send you to the Texan that speaks nicely. Cybersecurity news, a 24-hour insight to provide documentaries, shows, and talks about more ethical, like-minded folks. All right, so we're gonna go over there, and you can feel free to chat. Raid. We're gonna raid. We've never raided Dark Side Diaries. And feel free to check out Yasakai as well, folks. 11 viewers, 14 viewers, 15, 16 viewers, 17 viewers. Nice, folks. Thank you very much for today's stream, folks. It was awesome. We learned so many things. Epistemic, thank you very much for joining us today. It was lovely having you. You participated actively to the two amazing conversations, so it was really nice. Switz, not sure if you're still here, but it was awesome having you for the first time as well. Folks, let's go into Dark Side Diaries channel, and then I'll see you tomorrow in 22 hours where we're gonna hack our own platform. Sounds good, folks? Thank you very much for being here. Take care of yourself and see you tomorrow. Sounds good. I love it. See you soon, Epistemic. Ciao, ciao.